Alright, try this again. Welcome to a special cast on the Grievance Total Gaming Network. I'm Liette. I'll be hosting for this afternoon, and thank you so much for tuning in. We're going to be talking a lot about 2048 and Operation Supply Drop. 2048 is a game that you can check out by Googling 2048, and it will come right up. There are also apps for it on your Android and iPhones, and it's not the easiest thing on earth. So, having spent a lot of time learning how to suck a lot less, we're going to be going over it today. I'm casting this in support of Operation Supply Drop, which is a wonderful, wonderful charity that sends consoles and games to our troops overseas where it's really not fun. This was started by a fellow named Steven Machuga, who is awesome and had been working out of his basement for quite some time. It's grown over the years, and he's done an amazing job making sure that the funds and things donated go to our troops that are in combat zones. These guys are in stressful situations, and much as they, I'm sure, appreciate socks and candy bars and things, they'd like stuff to do, including gaming. So gaming gets them out of their bunkers, it gets them interacting with each other, it distracts them from a really stressful situation, so this is great. I can't say enough wonderful things for Operation Supply Drop. Unfortunately, their website has been hacked this weekend, which was the kickoff to their big charity event. So you can donate directly to them through PayPal. You can see that link just above me scrolling. So go to bit.ly/8bs_PayPal if you want to directly give them some funds. You can also email donations@operationsupply-drop.org to get them funds directly as well. So, wonderful group. Please consider supporting our troops. And on my part, every time I lose this game in trying to teach you how to not lose this game, I'm going to send them 20 bucks. So there we go. I'm going to be going through 2048 a couple times and explaining as we go. If you have any questions as we get through it, let me know. It might be a good idea to bring up in another window the game so that you can kind of see what I'm doing and why it works. I got into this after reading about it on a forum, so there we go. Also wanted to mention a note about our partners, Rise Up Gaming. They are also supporting this event. You can check them out at riseupgaming.com. They're on Twitter at riseupgaming. And they're also streaming all weekend in support of Operation Supply Drop. They're a wonderful group. Don't miss them. And they support different charities each month. They're pretty darn fabulous, and we're excited to be partnered with them now. So, all right, here we go. Let's get into the game. The whole object of 2048 is to combine tiles. If you touch two 2s together, you will make 4. If you touch two 4s together, you will make 8. The point of the game is to get to 2048. It's not that easy though, because you keep getting tiles that come up as you combine tiles, and that's okay. You just have to work with it and make it work out. So, there are people who make this look like they are magical. I am not one of those. I'm a little slower, especially since it's an HTML version. In other words, it's on a website. The app version is a lot faster. You just swipe your finger real fast, and it does what you need it to do. As I go through again, ask me questions if you have any, let me know, and off we go. So, to start out with, I'm going to go up and to the left. Woohoo, I made 4. Look at me, I'm special. I'm gonna go right and up, and I made 8. Look at that. Alright. So, we need to make that 8 get a lot bigger, so I need to get a couple of 4s. Well, I'm gonna go left, like I just did, up, and over. Nifty. So I'm just gonna play through a game, and I'm gonna show you about till halfway through how this works, and what the point of it is. Then I'm going to explain some moves, why they work, and why they're helpful. Funny, I have spent a lot of time recently on my bathroom floor trying not to puke because I'm expecting kiddo number 1, and so had a lot of time to play this. Now granted, my computer wasn't in there, I had my phone. Alright, so you can see that as we go along, we're combining numbers pretty darn fast. You'll also notice that I'm trying to keep my biggest number in one corner. That would be the left-hand corner. This will not always work. It will sometimes get messed up. I will be very frustrated when that happens, as is anybody else who has played this game. I kind of call this the corner rule, to work into a corner, because it tends to work out best for you. So you can see that our biggest tile right now is the 128 over here. I am circling it with my cursor. Fancy. And it's in the corner. That's where you want things to stay. It makes life a lot simpler. Again, if you have questions, let me know. You'll also notice that I'm only going in 3 directions. I've gone up, right, and left. I've not gone down. There's a reason for that. If you go down or to whatever 4th direction is, you can do down, right, left, up, down, right, left, whatever. You'll often mess yourself up if you're trying to use this corner roll. So I could sit here and spout off left, right, up, 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 down, but you can kind of see what's happening. Now, there are some crazy people on YouTube who can do this extremely fast. I am not one, sorry, but that's okay. So let's see if we can keep making our squares fast, and at some point I'm going to try to goof up so that I can show you how to fix it when you goof up. I have one very sweet coworker who is very fond of telling me that she goofs up a lot and wants to throw her phone. Please don't throw your phone. I'm sure your phone would not appreciate that. So, a little more on Operation Supply Drop and why they decided to do what they do. While I'm going through here and getting us up to halfway done. It's been studied multiple times whether video games are actually beneficial to folks in combat zones. A lot of what they find is stressing soldiers tends to be a feeling of being alone. Well, that really stinks. We want to get them, you know, socializing, enjoying themselves, all of that. And this really does help to have something to do. So that's what Operation Supply Drop is about, trying to send them things to do. And when you ask soldiers, really, what do you want? They're going to say video games. I mean, I get it. We're helping gamers overseas. I don't blame them. So this really was a cool charity to come up with. So way to go, Stephen Machuca. We also have an interview for him from last year on our YouTube page, if you check us out at Grievance Gaming. Gosh, I don't know the date on that, but if you look at our Out of the Box casts, there it is. And you can see what he has to say directly about the charity. Alright, so you can see I've got 2 56s all split up. That'll happen occasionally. Oops, my bad. Not doing a very good job with my whole corner rule, am I? But that's okay. We're still getting there. You'll find a lot through this game. You just kind of space out and learn what works best for you. And that's a good thing. I spent a lot of time trying to not puke and spacing out playing this game. It was a great distraction, just like what we want to do for those troops. And again, that link to donate directly is just above me, scrolling in the banner. So please feel free to go check that out. Every dollar helps. And here we go. Alright, I really need to get the 128 to be a lot bigger. So that's what we're going to work on here. We're going to be slightly strategic. Look at that. Alright. So you'll notice I'm working to the left and trying to build up numbers over here. You have to kind of let the game work for you to an extent, and you also have to stay out of your own way. So that's why I am back and forth a lot, and I really wish that that 2 had not shown up to the left of the 16. But that's okay, because we're working it out. Ta-da! Alright, we got our 512, biggest tile yet. Woohoo! So, again, if you haven't found the game, you can just Google it, and there it shall be. It's super easy to find. Just Google 2048. Alright, and we are going to try to get this moved over. There we go. Cheers. Alright, I'm not doing a very good job here. This is a game that I am going to lose, so we're going to try again. And that's because I was distracted. So, we're going to go slower this time. You see how I built it up to 512, though? I was working into one corner. Typically, you'll find if you're going in 3 different directions that it does tend to give you a more favorable game. Now, I will say, I tend to have significantly better luck on the app version of this versus the website version, which has taken me hours to win before. But here we go. It just seems to have far more convenient tile work. So you'll see that I just pressed up twice to make 2 4s. I'm going to press right to combine them into 8. Check that out. Nifty. I just pressed up again, 2 4s. Now we're going to combine our 8s. Cool. Well, you'll notice you're going to get stuck at some points and have to go back and forth and just generate more numbers. Oh, and by the way, to be noted, I now owe Operation Supply Drop 20 bucks because I lost. So, yay them. So I've got 3 16s in a row. And remember, I want to work up, so I'm going to press up at this point. And now I've got 2 32s in a row. That's okay. By and large, you want to keep working your top 2 rows and keep your numbers as high as you can, because when you get stuck, it really stinks, and then you'll be a mad person. So you see how that worked. And of course, I just got something in my corner that I was working towards. That's okay. We're going to fix it. So, going to keep going up, combine our 8s there. I'm going to change over to the left corner because I work better in the left corner for whatever reason. You might find the right corner is awesome for you. That's okay. Alrighty. So we're back and forth. It's a lot of back and forth. And anybody who hasn't played this before is going to really want to not back and forth. You're going to want to hit up, down, left, right, all of that. Nope. The biggest thing that I had to overcome was self-control because I really wanted to hit down a lot. Don't do that. Alrighty, so you can see we're working up again. And after a while you get really tired of seeing 16s and 8s and 4s, but that's okay. Ta-da! Alright, left corner. Nifty. Do we have any questions thus far? Hi, Steel. Yay. Nice to see you on here, bud. Yeah. Yes, I owe them $20 every time I lose because, for real, I was on my game earlier and now I'm not, and shame on me. So yeah, every time I lose this game, I'm sending them 20 bucks. Woohoo! And let's see, do I have any other questions? Nope, think we're good. Cool. Alrighty, so back to the game. Check that out. And you can see I'm trying to keep working upward. Ooh, and look at that. Alright, sometimes you'll notice that you get lots and lots of big numbers one row down. Try to combine them. You'll also notice when I have a blank in the upper right-hand corner, I try to fill it as fast as I can. That way I have less chance of getting really goofed up and having something pulled out of my left-hand corner. So, keep doing what you're doing. And this gets really tedious, but it does work. And we got 64. Nifty. Alright, now, if I was to immediately move that 16 over, either of those, I would immediately get 32, and then it would be in the way of my 8. Now, regardless, the next time I hit right, it's going to be 32, but I need to be able to build up the 8. So I'm going to go ahead and get a couple numbers over there so that I can do what I just did. And this is an instance where I have to hit a direction that I don't want to hit, which is down. That's unfortunate. It happens. The game's going to put something random in the top row that I wanted to avoid. That's okay. So I have to hit down because I can't go any other way. There's the 2. I'm gonna pretend it didn't happen, and my little OCD will shh. So I just filled in that corner. Ooh, and now I have 2 56s. Or 2 256s. They are separated. That's really unfortunate. That's okay though, because we can work with that. Alright, now you'll notice I can get to the what was a 2 up there. You want to just kind of work your second row until you can get to wherever you had to put a number that you didn't want to put there. So, there we go. Alright, any questions thus far? Oh, don't tease me, Steel. I will not lose as easily. Okay. I'm gonna try to get that 64 much higher. And just then, I messed up a little bit and probably should have put that 32 underneath the 32 that's already there. That's okay. Ta-da! Alright. So, we're making a little progress, which is always fun. And There we go again. All right. As much as you can combine numbers and make that your priority, I forget that a lot because I've gotten to the point where I'll go in infinity mode in this game, and that makes you stupid. Or at least it makes me stupid. I don't know about you. Hope it makes you less stupid than me. Alright, so I've got a really big top row. Ideally, I would have a 512 by now, a 256, a 128, and a 64. I don't have that because I didn't make the best moves ever. That's okay. We're going to keep working it. So at this point, I want to work in my left-hand corner there. So I'm going to try to make the number underneath that 128 that is 1, 2, from the upper left corner into a 256 so we can combine it. So we're going to be working that direction and hoping that the game isn't too uncooperative. You'll also notice that I'm using the corner rule for the second row as well. I'm trying to keep my biggest number off in the left-hand corner. Just makes it easier to work with. So here we go. And I need to make another 16. We can do that really quickly that way. Ooh, fancy. And now, of course, I've got a 2 over there that I really didn't want there. So that's okay. Cheers. All right. We're getting a little more towards our corner ideal. So now you'll notice in the upper right-hand corner, I need to make a 64 so that I can put my other 64 up there. No biggie. It'll just take me a minute. Now, this is a good example of when you want to keep the third row out of the way or your second row. So I'm going to hit left at this point. Cool. And I can push up and not have a really big deal with continuing to add numbers. I need to get more numbers over by that too. And now it's a pain in the butt. Alright, that's okay. So I've got 16. I need to make another 16, just like this. We're going to keep our fingers crossed that I don't suddenly get a 2 in the lower right-hand corner, because that will mess you up. I didn't. Check that out. Okay. So you'll notice we have really big numbers in our top row, and again, rule of combining as soon as you can. Combine, combine, combine. We're halfway there. Yay! Alright. So I wanted to get my 2 in that corner as soon as I could, so there it is. And again, rule of combining, I've got a 16 there. Ta-da. Alright, and we're just going to keep on building, just like it looks like, which takes a few minutes, but it works. So, as we're building numbers, I will say a little more about Rise Up Gaming. Grievance recently chatted with Rise Up Gaming. They are, again, an organization that focuses just on charities through gaming. They are headed by multiple people, but the main fellow is Rev, who lives up to that name really, really, really well, because he has a lot of energy and it's pretty revved up. He's fun to listen to, fun to watch, and I do hope you'll check them out. We're really excited to be partnering up with them in our charity work, especially things like Operation Supply Drop, as it's a cause near and dear to many of our hearts. We have lots and lots of military folks in Grievance and many veterans that we're just so proud of and honored to have in Grievance. So I love, love, love supporting, number 1, Operation Supply Drop, and 2, really good charities. Okay, so we're doing pretty well, and you can see what I'm doing. Do we have any questions at this point? Nope, nope. Okay. Just a reminder, the Operation Supply Drop website is down. Unfortunately, they had some hackers that are jerks. Again, you can donate directly by going to bit.ly/8B like boy, S like Sam, _PayPal. You can send them funds directly there if you are so inclined. Again, I owe them at least 20 bucks. So, hopefully I will win this one, and we'll do a little better than last go round. Alrighty, that could have been bad. Notice I didn't push up there. I went back and forth, because I wanted to be able to do that. Ta-da! Okay, and I have my right corner open. I really want it to not be. Cool, I got a 4 there. Unfortunately, I now have 8s that I could have combined. Alright, if I were to press left my 8 in the second row would go way over there and not combine the way I want it to. However, it's still going to end up putting something in the way of the 16. I can't help that, and I'm not going to be able to fix it by going left. So I'm going to show you what happens if I were to do that. Oh, looky, I just get another number, and it's still in the way. So, alright, I gotta go up. Because again, rule of combining. But, it'll work out. At some point, I get to do that. So, cool. So we're still working row 2 and trying to make sure that we increase our numbers as easily as we can. I'd like to use both those 8s. That probably won't happen unless I do that. So there we go. Made myself some room. Ta-da! Alrighty. So we're getting really close. We are 3/4 of the way through the game. You'll notice I just need one more 512 to be able to make 2048. So if you're one of those folks who wants to try the game, be really happy when you get there. It took me a really long time when I was first learning this game to figure out what in the world I was doing. I was going all over the place, and it was not helping me. And I will admit my attention span was really horrible since I was busy trying to not puke my guts out, but you know, that's okay. Alright, that was a pretty decent move to make. You'll notice I didn't immediately try to combine with the 16. That's okay. Alright, and you'll notice the board's getting kind of messy. That's okay. Ta-da! Less messy. A lot of people get a little bit panicky once they've hit their first 1024. Don't panic, it's okay. But it does get a little weird. At some point, we'll probably not be able to use the corner rule as easily as we have been before, just because you're gonna have a lot less space to work in and you have much bigger numbers to try to make. So, no big deal. Just work it. You'll get it. Alrighty. So, that wasn't ideal. I'd really, really would have appreciated if I didn't have to move that 32. But that's okay. We shall keep combining. Now, you'll notice I have two 64s where I can never, ever, ever, ever get them together. Unless a miracle happens, which it won't. So at this point, I need to turn that 16 into a 64 or make the 8 into a 64 so that I can make it go straight up into the 128. So we're going to be working on that. And that's not so easy because I have lots and lots of 2s and 4s. The thing that really stresses people out about this game, ooh, look at that, ta-da, miracle happened, is when you get to this point and you just don't have a lot of room to work with. It's okay, let the game work for you. Now I don't have any choice but to go up, but the 2 is going to be in my way, as you can see. Not a big deal, but I am going to try to get... Okay, it just doesn't want to cooperate. Alright, I wanted that 4. Now I've got to make the 2 into an 8, which is not going to happen for me. Cool, so I know I'm in my own way. At this point I kind of need to clean up, so we're going to press up. We're going to build up that 32 and that 64. Okay, it happens. I'm going to go left and right, back and forth a couple times because I want to turn that 4 into an 8 to combine with the 16. And that didn't work out either. That happens sometimes. Okay, so again, I'm in my own way. Okay, doing a little bit better. I'm gonna try a trick. At this point, I have the option to hit left and really, really, really hope that I don't get a bunch of 2s on the right-hand side and get them in my way. Yay, this is great. So I'm gonna hit up at this point because you see there's nothing under the 16s. So if I move up, make it 32, and then move to the right, and then combine to make two 32s, we might have a fighting chance, but that happened. Okay, so when that happens, you keep working. And you might want to cuss at the game a little bit. I would not blame you at all. This happens to me all the time. I really shouldn't have gone in that direction just now, but that's okay. So, there we are. I want to go up. Is what it is. Want to go up again. Alright, so I've got 64 there. And I've got a 4 just down to the 64. I have the choice to either turn the 32 into a 64 make another 64, combine 128, and then move up to the 256. Or whatever the game kind of tells me I need to do. So, 64 it is, looking good. You'll also notice whatever direction you choose to go, left, right, up, down, whatever, wherever the numbers will fall is going to be where the biggest number ends up. So keep that in mind too when you're playing. Alrighty, so I need to make a bunch of 8s. Not doing terribly. This is not my best game. Steel might be smelling another 20 bucks. That's okay. These are people I like to give money. Okay, sweet, check this out. Look what happened. Alright, didn't stink so bad. So at this point, I'd like to, rather than mess with too much, go ahead and get that 256 up there. So, there we go. And oh look, we won the game. Way to go, people. 2048. Boom! Everybody gets excited when they see their scores go above 20,000 because prior to that, it's really low. You can also choose to keep going at the point when you win. And that's really entertaining. At that point, you do get stressed out because once you hit something like, I think it's 4096, the game gets really complicated because you just don't have that much room. I've gotten in the 70,000s before, which was a minor miracle, so yay!